Hello, guys and girls, and welcome to today's lesson. Before you get started with your NTI assignment for today, I did want to just take a quick second, make a really quick video for you going over today's assignment just to make sure that you completely understand what you need to do. But as always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email and I will be happy to answer those for you. Or you could also send me a message on Google Classroom. Today we're going to be doing a vocabulary activity. And the reason that we're doing this is because let me remind you that last week we talked about how in the very near future we're going to be doing a couple of things in class. We're going to be participating in an activity called a Socratic seminar. And then after we participate in the Socratic seminar, we're going to take all of the knowledge that we gained from the seminar and from the resources that we took a look at together to come up with a writing piece. And that writing piece is going to answer the question, is social media helping or harming teenagers? So we still have a couple of resources, a couple of articles that we're going to take a look at before we start the Socratic seminar and before we start the writing piece. And the vocabulary on this assignment today are some of the words that you are going to see in those future resources that we're going to take a look at. So we're doing some pre-work to get us prepared for the future articles, the future resources that we will be using for our writing piece and for our Socratic seminar. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, reach out. I will be happy to explain that to you further. But without further ado, let's take a look at the directions for this assignment. It says use context clues to determine the meaning of each of your new vocabulary words. We have talked about context clues this year, but it's been a minute, so let me give you just like a real quick refresher. Context is something's surroundings, and so when we're talking about context clues, we are talking about the words that surround the vocabulary word, and sometimes we can use those words to figure out the meaning of the vocabulary word. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It says your teacher will review the correct definitions with you after. That's something that we're actually going to do tomorrow. And then it says that there's an example that shows you how to do this. So the example are these dark gray boxes. The left-hand box is kind of like a step-by-step of how to go through this assignment. And then the right-hand box is the actual example. So, step one, it says begin by looking at the photo and ask yourself, what do I see? So, our example vocabulary word is absolute, and with all of your vocabulary words today, there will be a picture. So, our picture for absolute looks to be some birds flying in the sky. I can see that the birds are in the air, and they are not being controlled or told where to go. After you take a look at the picture, it tells you to look at the caption, which is going to be the sentence under the picture, and then to ask yourself if there are any words that you could put in place of the underlined vocabulary word. So this is a great tool, a great way to figure out what the meaning of an unknown word is. Try to think of words that you could plug into the sentence for the unknown word and see if they make sense. So our caption says, birds have absolute freedom to go wherever they like. And it gives us two options to plug in. Our options are all or complete. So birds have all freedom to go wherever they like, or birds have complete freedom to go wherever they like. Both of those seem like they could be possible options. Step number 3 says to look at the example sentence and to ask yourself, do my substitutions from the caption, which again were all or complete, make sense in the sentence? So the example sentence is going to be above the picture. My mother's no was absolute. Once she said it, there was no chance of changing her mind. So we're going to take those two words that we came up with for the caption and see if they make sense in the example sentence. My mother's no was all. Once she said it, there was no chance of changing her mind. Or my mother's no was complete. Once she said it, there was no chance of changing her mind. I think in this situation, complete makes a little bit more sense. So in the box where it says my answer, that's what we would type, complete. And then we're going to talk about what to do in the correct definition box here in just a second. Just remember as you're going through this today that these examples and the directions are going to be up at the top, so you can refer back to those if you need to. We're going to take a look at number 1 together. I'm actually going to do this one for you. So after you get done watching the video, all you will have to do is plug in for number 1 what we are talking about together now. So number 1, our vocabulary word is anxiety. And like the directions said, we need to start by looking at the picture and the caption. If I look at the picture, I see a woman. She looks like she is talking on the phone, possibly. She has kind of a serious look on her face. Her eyebrows are sort of raised and pinched together. She has her hands on her face. She's not smiling. So now let's take a look at the caption. It says, waiting for her doctor to answer the phone filled Narissa with anxiety. I know that sometimes talking to a doctor or waiting to talk to a doctor can be sort of scary. And looking at the picture, I'm going to try to think of some words that maybe I could plug in with the word anxiety that would make sense in this sentence. Based on her facial expressions, based on what I know about trying to talk to a doctor on the phone, I think maybe nervousness might be an option. So waiting for her doctor to answer the phone filled Narissa with nervousness. Or just based on the fact that she doesn't look so happy in the photo, we could maybe also try the word sadness. Waiting for her doctor to answer the phone filled Narissa with sadness. I mean, that's a possibility. So now that we've looked at the photo and we've looked at the example sentence, the next step is to take those words and plug them into the sentence that's above the picture. Again, we said nervousness or sadness. The night before my job interview, my nervousness was so strong that I couldn't sleep. Or the night before my job interview, my sadness was so strong that I couldn't sleep. I think in this instance, nervousness makes a little bit more sense. So in the box where it says my answer, I'm going to type in nervous. Now when it's time to move on to the correct definition box, the easiest way to go about this is going to be to open up a new tab on your Chromebook and use our friend Trusty Google. And I've already done this. I typed in definition of anxiety on the Google search bar, and this is what it gave me. A feeling of worry, nervousness, ding, 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 that's what we came up with, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. And so we're going to take this definition and we are going to copy it. You can do that by hitting Control C. And then we are going to paste it in our box where it says correct definition, and that can be done with Control V. Okay, so now we've done my answer, we've done the correct definition, which means we are finished with number 1. On your own, you are going to go through the rest of these. You've got number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 is the last one. And once you have done that, you've filled in your definition and the correct definition, you are done with your NTI assignment for today. So you will be able to submit that once you are finished. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. And if not, hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.